successful people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
Place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I thought that people get to leave of this minister and the
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Engineer D.K. Richard Kedum. Engineer D.K. is a member Nigerian Society of Engineers. He's also the 2019 ASD governorship candidate. He's also the publicity secretary, concerned and patriotic ex-governorship candidate of Rivers State. Good morning, Engineer.
Thank you.
And welcome.
Thank you very much. Morning, Rivers State.
Also joining me on the show is Daniel Momo, a political analyst and a regular on Open Conversation. Good morning, Daniel, and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
I also have with me Honorable Don Okparaji ESQ. Honorable Don is a legal practitioner. He's a member, Nigerian Human Rights Commission. He's also the secretary, ONE Blueprint Development Committee. Good morning, Honorable Don, and welcome.
Thank you.
And then on to the story. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has announced that he would present the state 2025 budget to the Okojombo-led State House of Assembly. Fubara, who made the revelation at the commissioning of projects and Bonny local government area on Saturday, was represented by the Chief of Staff, Rivers State Government House, Edison Ehe, at the event. Addressing Okojombo, Ehe partly said, "I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your support to the Rivers State government, as seen in your cooperation. The Speaker has facilitated the screening of caretaker committee chairmen, expedited executive requests, and will soon play a vital role in enacting the 2025 budget." He stressed that the Assembly will stay focused despite opposition from enemies of the state or the 25 former members. Okojombo revealed that the 2025 budget will soon be presented to the 10th Assembly and confirmed that Bonny local government will be included in the upcoming infrastructure projects. Let me start with you, Daniel Momo. Daniel, what do you make of this story?
Thank you once again for having me. First, I think that there is a crisis in the state.
Okay.
Crisis of legality as to whether which house or which house is not the validly house to represent the state. And where the governor has been accused of probably to have failed to obey court order. My clear position then was that a man does not appeal a case and the same time again reprobate and go back to the house and present the budget. I think that as at the time that he has, I think it's still within the window of him still operating with that house. First, from the judgment of the Federal High Court to the Court of Appeal, until any other thing nullifies that. That's I, not the governor of the state. And so this is my personal advice, that I prefer that we give some time, because budget cycle can still be extended. It doesn't matter that we have to present this budget now that the state runs. I think that we do not have that logjam because the case can go either way. That's the truth. The case can go for the side of the governor, and it can also go. I think that my personal opinion would have been that, can we leave the 2025 budget and still run the 2024 budget? When Tinubu came on board, we were running two budgets
concurrently.
So it doesn't bring that illegality in it. I think because of the crisis, and things in court, I would have expected that the governor should please. That's my advice and my personal opinion. That he should give some time and allow the 2024 budget to keep running.
All right. You time, let it keep running. However, that still has said that what the governor did, null and void, that presentation of budget is unacceptable, and everything done by Edison, that particular budget is null and void, is illegal, the governor should represent. Now, argument is that the budget, this budget is running It's at the expiration. So why not let it go? Regardless that, yes, a court judgment was given in January 2022, but
no court gave a year, medicine a year, power to present
A bill that was passed just a day. It has never happened. Now, challenge the purport of that, their suspension. And as at that time, there was no contention as to who was the rightful speaker or members of the House. They did not even challenge that suspension, which means that suspension was ongoing. In fact, it was within the period that they were suspended that they formed themselves into that 3-man or 4-man committee and then, illegally entertained the budget appropriation bill of the entire state and then passed it, probably passed it into law. It amounts to an aberration. It's a constitutional infraction because what it means is that you are shutting out an entire 27 or 28 constituency from making input into the budget. So as at that point, the presentation of the actions of the governor were already suspended of Martins Amewule. So it was the governor to know is that expected therefore was quashed and nullified eventually. So that would mean that what the governor needed to do was to show that Martins Amewule as at that time were still members of the House and are members of the House and still Speaker. Now, that was taken too far.
All right. I also asked you a question around the argument around the presentation of the 2024 budget, that it was coming to
it's already an end.
Yes, it's coming to an end.
The thing is that in law, in the eyes of the law, whatever is wrong is wrong.
Okay.
It's just like when the court said former governor of Rivers State, Sir Celestial Mayor, was not a governor in the eyes of the law. But by some certain level of politics, we spend the money is another thing. But in order to now set the standard straight, the governor ought to have obeyed that procedure. And for not doing so already amounts to very serious grounds for what amounts to gross misconduct, official gross misconduct, and eventually we amount to
when you say it will amount to
of impeachment offenses.
Well,
beginning, because if you check the record, these are people of one political party, the PDP assets. Those 3 House of Rep 11s and all that, all of the same party. What we generate, that you begin to see the level of confusions that we are also still in today. So that brings me back to today. The budget of 2024 was well presented to the governor. The governor assented to it, and it's running. But come to 2025, the courts have said you need to represent it, but the governor has appealed that judgment to the Supreme Court and has also applied for a stay of execution. So the governor is still within the window.
The second execution was denied.
No, in the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court, did Supreme Court approve of that? It has to be that approved or denied.
No.
The
once it's applied, you don't need to approve it.
No, why?
The court will either approve
it's not
or
an
deny.
automatic.
Now, if I may, let me just give you an instance. The local government election, when judgment was given by the Federal High Court, I think Justice Peter Lifo of the Federal High Court, the governor went to, he appealed for stay of execution of that judgment.
In the Court of Appeal? Or
and it was denied.
Is it in the Court of Appeal?
At appeal, and it was denied. So Supreme Court, when you appeal, they don't need to.
I have not.
It's never denied.
The record I have not seen.
I'm telling you as a lawyer.
I haven't seen. So the governor
So
me,
if I may understand, Engineer Richard, you're saying that if one applies for stay of...
it's automatic
Interesting.
running. Yes, that's what, to the best of my knowledge.
No,
I stand to be corrected.
It's not correct.
And remember, 109 subsection 2 or 3.
9G.
Yes,
109,
yes.
yes.
Said, well, once you decamp from that political party, you automatically lost that seat.
Is it self-executory?
It's not.
You see, it is left for the law to now relay these things to us, because that's the confusions we are having. Confusion. That's the whole thing that's happened within River State, and that's where we are. So, but to come to the point of today, the governor have all rights, like he have also said, that's going to put up the budget to
the 2025 budget.
Yes, to local
Jumbo
and all that. So it's within his people are looking for, like
which people?
The 27 lawmakers. And,
all right.
Like my brother lawyer have said, my friend lawyer have said, that they want impeachment of the governor. And I also want to ask, you people were all together. From the beginning, what separated you people? What interests people have that will now make people go apart?
Right.
People are 32 members in assembly, PDP. You have 11 House of Reps, PDP. 3 senators, PDP. The leader of the party, PDP. The governor, PDP. What will now be that thing that will now want you to impeach the governor? That you are building up all these things. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Right.
If not possibly to control the resources of River State by just one individual.
All right. Very well. Engineer Richard, very quickly, you made reference to what Barrister Don said, and you said that he said that what the governor can go ahead to de-recognize the people known to the law and go with the people when he was impeached by the Plateau State House of Assembly. The Supreme Court ruled that
members.
The Supreme Court ruled that the members that constituted that
Section 91 is clear.
Hold on. I'm asking him a question. The governor is insisting on presenting budgets against the law. Are we not driving into a state of anarchy at this point?
And again, I forgive whatever that we have said here. You know, a lot of court judgments have come that sometimes we even forget.
Yes.
Yes, Justice Dana Gogo on a Monday, 11th of December, granted an ex parte order recognizing Eddie to become the Speaker of River State.
Did they give him the authority to allow?
No, it's not. Look, see, once a court gives me authority to sit on this seat, whatever that is done on this seat, I will do it. It's legal within that period. That's what the Supreme Court would also decide. If you remember, in the case, the Court of Appeal,
Justice Wallace matter.
This last Court of Appeal
is
saying 4, but we are saying 3. You know why? Because in the eye of the law too, the justice himself did not see Eddie resigning. He still recognized him as a member.
Of course.
Now, Dume against Saraki, where he was suspended, and the Supreme Court said, no, you do not have the right to suspend, to take away the voices of the people who elected that person. You don't have that right. And so part of what the Supreme Court should decide. That's it.
After the expert
I'm coming. No, we need to, because he also mentioned something that was very interesting.
All right.
Miss Lega.
Let me respond to that. Quickly, my brother affects the results or judgments that we get. Now, to be more clear, the question she was asking was there any court order that gave power to hear, to entertain that budget and, pass that budget into law? And I said no. No. Hold on. What you are doing is you are giving a corollary. I'm not doing a corollary. I'm sure they did not challenge it. They did not challenge. I'm coming. Hold on. Listen. They did not challenge that suspension. Whether you are bringing the issue of who can suspend or who cannot suspend, the issue do a legitimate, but there was none to our knowledge. But what we are saying here is, the governor going to present a budget to a 3-man committee of friends on behalf of the entire state is aberration. That judgment was, I think, on the 10th of December last year. The governor made this presentation to the House, to this set of people. And when there is a court judgment, you obey it until it is set aside. That action, the governor preparing, in the light of this judgment, against him, to go and present a budget before this same session, and I stand to say that.
See, I just wanted to also correct some issues. That there was truly a court judgment recognizing Eddie.
Well, there was not a court judgment that gave him power to the budget. Yes.
No.
That was the question I was attending to. No.
Gentlemen.
You are getting
Gentlemen.
No, I was not to.
Party order.
But it was
That,
legal.
hold on.
No, it was legal. Let's be corrected.
And had a lifespan of 7 days. That would have expired.
Gentlemen, hold on.
That would have expired.
Hold on. Now, is it possible, Daniel, for you not to interject?
No, very possible. No, you know I'm a gentleman. You know I'm a gentleman.
When you're having yourself, nobody
interjects. No, are gentlemen.
Daniels are always out there.
Daniels are always recognized Edison Ehe. Did he go ahead? Was there further move by the court to give judgment on that? There was none. So that was why probably Justice Omotosho's judgment, nobody could accuse any court of conflicting judgments.
No, not at all.
No. Let me say this.
Not at all.
A lot of events happen in Rivers State that we now tend to forget a lot of things. Remember that why the case was in court. They had this
which case?
The Omotosho's case was in court. They had this political resolution as to what to be done.
That's the peace pact.
They went to Abuja and they came back.
Okay.
And everybody was supposed to be implementing what he, and remember what the governor said, that he was ambushed to the court to withdraw.
Did the governor say he acted without his knowledge?
When we say this, it's like
we need to say let him flow.
Did he act without the governor's knowledge?
Let him flow.
We got to know that when the governor had sacked him.
That he acted without the governor's knowledge.
Yes, we got to know that when the governor said he went to court and taking the interest. It wasn't. There was a language he used that he wasn't taking the interest of the state. And let's not make it look like the Omoto's judgment was that's exceptional. No, the governor's side has withdrawn their case. Remember what the Court of Appeal said, that you cannot withdraw your case at the lower court and then you come to the Court of Appeal that you had no case. Even I said it here that dissented commissioners back to the State House of Assembly led by Martis Amehuli, and until the whole peace thing broke off and everybody went their way. So let us not make it look like Justice Omotosho's judgment was as flawless. No, the governor's side of the argument was withdrawn. Right. And so the only argument before the judge was Martis Amehuli and others' argument before him and the judgment. So it wasn't like there was any exceptional thing in Omotosho's judgment.
No, can I? Sorry, madam. Can I let me make no? I have, because it has. No.
Daniel,
I'm not using that to influence anybody. I'm discussing facts that we know.
Hold on. Because that was where this matter started.
Absolutely.
And you now jump from it.
Hold on,
Daniel.
No. Okay.
Hold on, if you forget, I'll remind you. Daniel, you conveniently moved from Edison Ehe and simply tried to derail this conversation. I'm going to bring it back. So now, deflection doesn't work with me. So now, Barrister Don, you can say what you have to say, but I say what was done in that court of 16, it had like, one would wonder, why wasn't, when Justice Omotosho had his judgment, when the court of Justice Omotosho delivered the judgment, why wasn't there accusations of conflicting ruling? Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Now, sorry, sir, let me finish. So, now, start of this whole thing, if you have to look at the origin, and people say if you want to know whether something is a snake, you look at it from the edge. Now, this whole issue, how did it start? And I told you, I said, see, Edison was suspended, including these other 3 persons. And as at the time they suspended them, they did not challenge that suspension. That is what I tell you, they did not do it. And instead of challenging that suspension, Rather, look like what they are going to do is right. They went and formed themselves into a group of persons, called themselves Rivers State House of Assembly, and then started doing legislative business. Somebody that was suspended legally. All right. Now, when that whole process is finished, of course, people went to court about the fact.
All right, Barrister.
Why did they not raise it?
Barrister Don, hold on. I am sure you are responding to Engineer Richard's statement when he said that they have already defected and he quoted the Constitution. And he said until a superior argument convinces him otherwise, that is his stand. Yes. So now, Engineer Richard, over to you. As we round off this conversation, this particular story, what are your final thoughts? Do you see possibility of political solution at this point, with all the water that has passed under the bridge, with everything that has been said, that has been done, and the intending actions?
No, I will look at the law to take its costs, because the principal actors have said there is no how you can reconcile God's son, which is the governor today.
Okay.
The former minister of, the former governor of Rivers State, the FCC minister, have said there is no how I can reconcile with this man. He said it on live TV. So I'm begging the courts and the judiciary, let them not, it is now, it's a place of no returns. So let the Supreme Court come, because what happens, let the Supreme Court come and do justice to it.
Now, and what still goes ahead to say that there was no forum formed to legislate on the 2025 appropriation bill. That's a double jeopardy. Now, if the Supreme Court ruled, and to all intent and purposes, seeing the body language of all the political unrest, wouldn't that lead?
I would have preferred to read my brother section 91 of the Constitution.
No, hold on.
If the Martins Amewule wanted peace, when they all appeared before the president, and that resolution came, that 8 points, they should no. They only withdraw that.
Yeah,
just that one. And the one they are going through now, that is hooking, intending or pretending to hook the governor, is the one they never withdrew.
But one would now, probably my items are lesser on the list. You will not expect me to run through my items in one go. I would expect that if I give, I should be able to receive. Probably, you recall that Martins Amewule, the Rivers State House of Assembly, at some point even wrote to the governor to present the budget. Probably that was what they were waiting for, to confirm that, okay, this major move, because that move would have been a major sign by the governor to say, okay, I have recognized the field. Let's not forget that as well. It wasn't just the budget. There were other items on that piece part that the governor did not fulfill.
Out of eight, governor did 6.
What did the remaining 2?
Out of 8, governor did 6 plus 1, which was the election, the council election.
And you know that these two costs were coming side by side. They called for governor to conduct elections, reset release date, and they were silent. And then the House of Assembly had to sit to elongate the tenure of this outgone local government chairman. There were 2 major house and knock on the door. That does not translate to marriage. There are 2 things you will do in the Igbo culture, and they will say you have married. They will now call her your wife. But depending on when you do these 2 things, every other thing you're doing according to the tradition of the Igbo people, she's still your betrothed. They will call her your betrothed. She's engaged to you. What you just did was to come and tell the people, oh, everybody should hands off. I have interest in this meeting. Until you do the 2 things, depending on the Igbo culture, the variation. But from where I come from, there are 2 major things that you do, and they will now say, she's your wife. The one would say, everything in that peace pact that the governor did, probably there are things that could be overlooked. But there were 2 major things.
Hold on now.
Let me no.
So what is
hold on. When they went to the Court of Appeal,
go ahead.
Do you know that matter
before the Court of Appeal?
No, I'm asking you a question. As and when they went to Court of Appeal, do you realize, or do you know that Justice Charles Wally's matter was still ongoing?
See,
No, sir.
No.
Yes or no? No, if you don't know, you don't know. Just tell me. I know what I'm saying. I have to write that question.
No. Let me say this. Yes, there was a peace agreement signed by all.
That's what I'm asking.
No, I'm coming. And the governor went there, took out his case.
Okay.
They withdraw some.
They actually make your final
some.
statement now.
Yes, they
all
withdraw
right.
some, left some.
Okay.
The governor went further. All of the SAN ministers,
yes.
I say ministers,
Assembly.
commissioners, he returned them. What is recognition? Before you, he brought back those commissioners. Before you. So what is recognition? What's about the recognition of it? And he has done that. And he was supposed to present that budget. Remember too. You see, that's why I said, let us be fair to all parties. You know what I've said here. That Oko, Jumbo and others cannot. I do not believe it. They cannot legislate for River State. The best thing the governor would have done, if the governor is recognizing that Machamegula and others are not members, right to the National Assembly. Yes, to take over the functions of this state and present your budget before
Now this is the
hold
on, let me just,
I'm only just telling
the
you.
issue. No, hold on. With respect to writing to the National Assembly, the issue here is this: when Martin Samegule went to the High Court, Justice Omoto Court, National Assembly was a respondent in that matter, so they were among the people that were bad. Go ahead. I just wanted to bring that. So now marry the whole thing. Do you understand the situation?
So that people don't miss my argument.
Do you understand why the governor cannot write issues? The governor cannot write National Assembly.
My arguments were not about the issues.
The House was not vacant. Why would they write to the National Assembly?
No, I'm coming. I'm not interested.
All right, very quickly.
Even if Martin and Mary and others had defected and so they have lost their seats, it is an abomination for these four or for these three to legislate for the state.
All right, very well.
It doesn't sit well with me. You can't do that.
Okay.
I'm only saying, while we are having this conversation, there are issues that have happened. And just to bring them to the fore, to say, no, these were things.
To give a balanced view.
And this, yes, you know, for me is that let's have a rivers that work for all.
So presenting this 2025 budget to Okojombo for you is...
You know, I gave my advice is hold on.
All right,
hold on, and
very well. And Engineer Richard, in your instance, the governor is well within his right to present the 2025 budget.
And you should go ahead.
Oh, okay. And now you can now have your final say, and just you have a minute to do that. Roughly 2 minutes.
I advise the governor to use this opportunity to rewrite his wrongs by not going to present that budget again before the Okojombo and his group of friends. It is an opportunity for the governor to do the right thing, at least relying on the judgments of Justice Omotosho, who has given him that window, you know, to take this bite. And I would advise Your Excellency, it's an opportunity to go back home and say no more. Thank you.
Your Engineer Richard, why is it they go back home and say no more statements? All right, gentlemen, thank you so much.
As you seen earlier.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on Open Conversation. Engineer Richard, it's a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm grateful.
Thank you so much, Barrister Don Obaraji. Thank you for coming. And then Daniel Momo, thank you so much for coming. I've not seen you this agitated in a very long time on the show.
I think I like that.
Yeah. You like that,
The issue is a very critical one. It touches the life of the entire state. And
No, we pray that we have a peaceful River State.
All right,
I put sure praying something like that. I put sure.
We work for
Or
the
just
governor.
you preaching.
We were the one that worked for him. It's our governor.
Everybody worked.
It's our governor.
The governor today is the governor of River State.
He's the governor of
And it's
everybody.
governor for everybody. There is no particular people that should be looking. We worked to what?
All right.
We voted. People voted
For your party.
No, that was in 2019. It's not 2023.
Are you now in PDP? Engineer Richard. Okay, don't want to ask that question. All right, this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. Thank you so much, our viewers, for always tuning in and staying with us. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials: Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network; Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1; and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Laurentia. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.
As always said, there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I
no matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.